Hey everyone, Michael back here on the Archangel 15. Glad to bring you another one of my suppressed medical science videos. This is video number 5. There's 4 previous videos. Please view them in sequential order for optimal viewing results. I've done the other ones over the years. Every now and again, I find some topics that I deem worthy to make the Archangel 15 suppressed medical science list. I usually do a disclaimer in all my medical stuff. I'm not a doctor, a licensed physician. Please consult a specialist in your particular area of need before making any medical related decisions. And the whole thing with the vaccines right now, it really has me upset. I've talked in the past how I feel about it. I'm very passionate about the topic, but it just, it's very upsetting. I'm just going to leave it at that. And I'm honestly running out of worthy topics. Like I said, it's like I've done really, really interesting stuff in the past. A lot, like I said, this falls into what I call suppressed. Is either there's very little research on it, or it's a new concept, or it's something that is so amazing that they want to not allow it to come to the light of day. And I guess some of this stuff now is like stuff that's not really that as cool as some of the past stuff. So please, please, please view my past 4 presentations. And I'm going to give you my personal story and start with this right here. This is what's known as a traction device. And like some of you may say, this isn't anything new. They've had these for years. They have different ones that go on doors as well. And it's very, very simple. It's for like treating cervical issues or even spinal issues and other things as well. You put this on, you adjust this mechanism, you pump it up. It separates your cervical, or like expands it, and basically takes the tension off the nerves if they're impinged, and it can provide like instant pain relief. Like people who maybe needed to take massive amounts of pain medication could use this, and it goes away. And like I'll give you my story. So 2015, I had a major medical issue or disaster that came up. It was just basically, there's probably innumerable things that caused it over the years: accidents, sports, just self-destructive behavior, whatever you want to say. But I went to the doctor, and he took an X-ray of my neck, and he showed me severe, like you could see the severely degenerated disc, C5 and C6, like really, really, really bad. I got an MRI, took the MRI to 3 neurosurgeons. Out of the 3 neurosurgeons that I went to, 2 of them wanted to do surgery, and the other one was like explain the ramifications of the surgery. And it's not good. They want to do what's called a discectomy, where they basically they go in through the front of your neck, and then they like put a titanium rod and like screw it into your spinal cord on the 5 and 6. But what happens is 4 and 7 then start to crumble because the body was never meant to have a titanium rod against bone. So and like if you're young, like this is inevitably going to happen. And if it like say you get in a car accident or sports accident, then you could be like paralyzed for life. It's like a very, very hard thing to recover from. And like I was at a point where I thought that like pain medication or other palliative options were maybe like the only relief that I was going to get, or like the help that I could get. And I went to my regular primary care physician. My regular doctor's name is Dr. Rill. I think he's since retired. And he told me, he said, did you try a traction device and this and that? And like, I didn't try it at first, but then I got it. And like, I started also into a physical therapy regimen. And like, they also incorporate maybe a TENS device, maybe some like Bengay, Tiger Balm, other topical ointment stuff. And you can also use ice as well. Exercises, very important to build up the muscles around that region as well. And ever since I used that for maybe a month or 2. Like at that time, I don't really have much pain at all. I previously had lost complete feeling in all of my hand, like especially these fingers. Couldn't feel them at all. It was absolutely horrible. And like now, maybe every once, like 2-3 months, I'll get it out and put it on if I have a little bit of pain, or if I was out doing something, like a very arduous task. And pretty much. It's amazing. It speaks for itself. If you've never had that type of issue, you don't know what pain I'm talking about, but it is excruciating. So like for like somebody that's going through that, this is worth its weight in gold. They cost like $3 or $4. You can buy them online. You're probably better off buying 2. The one I showed you is not really a nicer one. I had a nicer one, but they always seem to break or dry rot over the years. And like I said, you feel relaxed. Like after you take it off, you'll have like the best sleep ever. It's pretty amazing. Please, like you said, read the instructions, or have somebody that knows what they're doing and explain it to you. And Next thing I'm going to talk about is a concept that I have not experimented with on myself, but I'm like really like intrigued right now. It's bloodletting. Many of you may or may not have like heard in the past or like know like years ago, it was a very common medical practice. They actually use leeches, and it was called leeching. And they would go to the doctor or maybe somewhere, a facility that had the leeches, and they'd put them on you. I think even like it was like when you get a haircut or something, they would do it. But like you like put them on and let blood. And there's like innumerable reasons why I believe that this could be very beneficial. One is from a detoxification standpoint, with everything nasty in our earth, in our toxic world right now. Uh, Definitely, I think like getting rid of the toxins and creating an environment for new blood cells to form would be very beneficial. And like I maybe someday in the future I'll read some peer review medical journal articles on this, or it would be really cool to find some like old texts. Like I'll have to go into some like a medical library or something like that. Maybe look for some old books from like the 1800s that talk about it. It'd be kind of cool. But I think that I don't know what you would do. To be honest with you, I thought about it. Like I don't think I want to take a razor and like make scars on myself or go get a needle and like I guess that what you'd have to do is just like basically donate blood numerous times. So like maybe like when you first do it you don't feel good, but like maybe like 3 or 4 days after you start to feel better. Also, I've talked in the past about prolotherapy. Like the concept of prolotherapy is like you take anything in nature, a plant, and you like take it and like scrunch up the stem or cut it or like top it off. It'll grow back with more vigor, like bigger, faster, stronger, better than than it was before. And like prolotherapy, there's these shots that they do, the prolotherapy shots. One doctor I had, Dr. Icomi, he's like a master at this, and like he's had like 80 to 90% success rate with it. There's also PRP therapy. I've talked about proton-rich platelets, where you send your platelets in, they spin it down, and then they inject it with the prolotherapy lidocaine as well. Cutting edge stuff there. It's hard to find anybody that actually does the PRP, and it's almost guaranteed not covered under insurance. A lot of this stuff, the prolotherapy would not be covered under insurance, but the toxins are a major issue. Like like this detoxifying in general is good, but I really would like to try or get some research or like other people that have tried it and see what the outcome is. Another thing for getting rid of toxins that's really good, I've talked about this in the past, but right now this is extremely vital, is iodine. And like if there is radiation in our ambient atmosphere, what have you, however it's caused, whether it's from nuclear warfare, whether it's from Fukushima, whether it's from nuclear power plants or nuclear weapons testing, it doesn't really matter. It's in the atmosphere. It's not good. It doesn't belong in your body. And like it basically accumulates in your thyroid. And like there's like 3 things that you'll die from, and like with radiation fallout. Usually they're like bone cancer, intestinal cancer, or thyroid cancer. And a lot of people get their thyroids removed. It creates a condition, 2 conditions, either one of 2 conditions usually, either hypothyroidism or hyperthyroidism. Hyperthyroidism, you're like really jived up, you can't sleep, you don't want to eat, and it's not good. It can like have other like affect your brain chemistry and other things as well. And then hypothyroidism is like excessive eating, like you're craving sugar. It almost gets into hypoglycemia, and then like you start to you put on weight, and then like you're very lethargic. You don't want to do anything. So usually it'll create one of those, and like I feel myself sometimes like I start craving sugar really bad. I know it's not good. Talked in the past about milk, raw milk, but there's this thing it's called the parathyroid. It synthesizes calcium, and like there's also iodine in milk as well. And I really believe that like I've just found amazing value with the raw milk. And like I said, I only recommend crystal-based iodine. I get mine from the Global Healing Network, Dr. Edward Group. Amazing man. Met him a long time ago at a march against Monsanto. Amazing story with his father. He pioneered breakthrough research, basically correlating cancer with plastic consumer products, and they like killed him before this was ever to make it to the light of day. The guy he was a chemist at ExxonMobil, and but yeah, Dr. Edward Group, his stuff is really good. So like kind of like talking about it, his father, I have as you probably know in the past, a major love of just the topic of pathology. Dr. Otto Warburger was the godfather of pathology. To be honest with you, in 2021, we know everything. Like, we know what's good, we know what's bad, we know that basically man-made chemicals and compounds really don't belong in the body. We know that heavy metals, to a certain extent, don't belong in the body. We know that, like, fluoride in the water is not good. But, like, it bothers me. One of my little pet peeves, I see people that, like, obsessed with this whole COVID thing. It's not really COVID. It's nuclear, biological, chemical, electronic, advanced psychological, and cyber warfare going on. But anyways, if people are going to be so adamant about the mask, like, everybody should have a glove when they go to pump their gas. Like the petroleum, gasoline, especially diesel fuel, are like some of the worst cancer-causing carcinogens that you can even put near your body. And you get it on your hands and you're going to eat it. And like right now, I think we all need to be very cognizant of, from a pathology standpoint, of just like little things like that. Roundup, like I told you about March Against Monsanto. Roundup is like another big known one as well. Smoking, drinking, just the plastics, not good. Someday, like I've talked about in the past, I pounded the table about 35% food grade hydrogen peroxide. Other stuff like the vitamin B12, the D3. Right now, we're coming into the winter months. The D3 is very vital to get to supplement. Like, I would almost guarantee if you took 10 people and blood tested them that like 8 to 9 of them, maybe all 10, are going to be deficient in D3. But you don't get as much of it in the wintertime naturally through the sun. So it's important to supplement your body's need for that. And you can tell, like, when you actually buy the liquid stuff and you put it like in your mouth, your body craves it. The B12 as well. And like the B12, when I take it, I notice like my hair, my facial hair, everything grows in like with more vigor. It's pretty amazing. So some of my proudest work on this channel is related to this suppressed medical science stuff, particularly my root canal in a bottle. Like, there's other things, warts, like it's a cure for cancer, it's a cure for AIDS, but like to find an alternative therapy for the root canal is like it's worth, you couldn't even put a price tag on it. I mean, like, so you have to go to you have either severe pain or an X-ray that tells you that you need a root canal. You go to the dentist, then you have to go to an endodontist, then you have to possibly go to an oral surgeon, whatever. The endodontist, they like, rape your tooth, they whittle it down, they put files in your mouth, they jam these plastic tube-looking things that probably like decompose and rot and give you cancer in 8 years. Then you have to get a temporary crown. Then you have to get a real crown. Then it gets nasty crap built up underneath of it, and it'll either fall off, break, or, like I say, just be putting toxic shit in your body because it's not natural. There's a concept known as natural dentistry, and this is probably one of the closest things you're going to find to it. But like, if you could avoid all the thousands of dollars involved in what I just said and use something as simple as 35%, like something you don't even need a doctor or a dentist or a prescription for, and you could fix it yourself at home, it's, like I said, priceless. And some of my proudest work. I've had at least four. I've had one crown, one root canal that I had to do. So I've been through the process and it failed, and I had to get a retreat. And there's no guarantee that, like, it's cost me thousands and thousands of dollars, pain, you name it, just aggravation, and someday, so I had about 4 other ones, and like 2 or 3 of them were severe. To this day, the dentist that I go to has no clue how, like, I haven't had to get a root canal, and like I pioneered like a process. I have a separate video on it, but check out also, like, if you take antibiotics with it, it helps a little bit. Dip your toothbrush in colloidal silver and like brush around the traumatized area. I'm not going to go into this any deeper. Someday I would like to, besides doing clinicals on myself, I would like to like approach a university about doing a clinical on this. But just the nature of the 35%, it's amazing. Like, I have a separate video on charity scams. I called I called a whole bunch of charities and like asked them, like, are you doing anything on oxygen therapy or 35% peroxide? And they play absolutely stupid. If you try this once, I guarantee you'll be sold. It's not on some placebo level. It's like the real deal. Like, one of the most profound moments of my life was when I found this. So again, like I said, the vaccine thing just has me in like really an upset frame of mind with just the state of affairs in this country and the violation of human rights. I'm very sorry for you if you're one of the few people, or one of the many people, I should say, that are forced into getting a vaccine against your will. It really bothers me. I feel your pain. I will not take one. I'm willing to give my life over this. Let everybody else take them, and we'll see in 2 years what happens. And yeah, don't forget your booster shot too. So anyhow, another thing I want to do in the future, I'm in the process of obtaining a new Russian visa. I want to go back there, particularly to Moscow, and I have various work I've done there in the past. I have other presentations, but I want to do an expose on NASA and the fake moon landing and like other topics as well. I want to actually go and interview people in Russia, like on topics like this, and you'll see exactly how passionate they are. And like, you know, like you get it like straight from the horse's mouth. Like, who am I? You know, people don't believe me. They want to discredit me, whatever. But like, we'll go. I'll ask like 10 people in Russia, like how many of them believe that the moon landing was real, and you'll see none of them do. They get infuriated if you even suggest it. And like, I like John F. Kennedy up until really that. There's a few other topics with him I'm not going to get into, but that's all I have for you today, folks. If you're still with me, I thank you for your time. As always, thanks for stopping in here on the Archangel 15. Take care.